Wimbledon is considered the premier tennis tournament in the world, having produced champions who themselves are awed by its history and heritage. John McEnroe, three-time Wimbledon winner, described it once as the hallowed ground of the sport. The All England Croquet Club was originally founded off Worple Road, Wimbledon in 1868. But as lawn tennis started gaining popularity, the club added the new sport and changed its name to the All England Croquet and Lawn Tennis Club in 1877 and announced its first tournament open to all amateur players, the proceeds of which would go to fund a roller for its croquet lawns. The club set the rules and regulations for the tournament: the rectangular 78 feet long by 27 feet wide court, the clock-based scoring method of 15-30-40, winning 6 games to win a set, and allowing the server 1 fault. Rules and regulations that still stand today. The first ever, but now all too familiar rain delay pushed the final match from July 16th to July 19th, when Spencer Gore won the inaugural Wimbledon trophy. Gore later commented that anyone who has really played well at cricket, tennis, or even rackets will ever seriously give his attention to lawn tennis is extremely doubtful. For in all probability, the monotony of the game as compared with the others would choke him off before he had time to excel at it. History has proved him wrong. Tennis and Wimbledon continued to flourish and was reinvigorated when women were allowed to play for the first time in 1884. By the next century, Wimbledon had become an international competition, and in 1922, the All England Lawn Tennis and Croquet Club moved 4 miles up the road to a larger home to accommodate the growing crowds. But World War II led to a halt in that growth and to the cancellation of the championship. A portion of Center Court was bombed by the Nazis in October of 1940, and the tournament wouldn't resume until after the war in 1946. By then, international players dominated the game. The last Englishman to win the men's title was Fred Perry in 1936. It would take more than 75 years for another Englishman to win the championship, Andy Murray in 2013. In 1951, Wimbledon would invite its first African-American player. American Althea Gibson would then become the first black player to win a singles title in 1957.
Sportsmen everywhere applauded Althea's triumph and shared in her moment of glory.
In 1968, the club would open its doors to professionals to compete in the tournament, entering the open era of tennis. Since then, names like Bjorn Borg, Martina Navratilova, and Roger Federer have walked on these hallowed grounds and dominated the epicenter of tennis, all the while respecting and relishing the traditions that still bounce off these grassy courts. The white dress code that even the most rebellious of tennis players can't help but uphold. The class and formality that harken back to the days of the club's founding. The royal patronage that even to the most experienced players give pause. And the strawberries and cream that provide a delectable delight. All part of the legacy of the fabled tennis tournament that crowned its first champion on this day in 1877.